Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me alright? Hello? 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 You guys hear me alright? Uh, not sure what's going on. We'll be right back.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, but you've got a bit of feedback going on, like static, kinda. Um, okay, well, that's fine. Uh, is my mic fine? Like, there's nothing. Okay. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are, so we can begin whenever you want.
Alright. Hey guys, welcome back to Shards of Gaming. We're gonna be talking about the Shovel Nightmaker game, as I'm sure you probably noticed.
Yep.
I probably should have asked before. Did you want me to announce you as Edifix Games? I probably butchered the name. I'm sorry about that, or your actual name.
You didn't butcher it. It's 8FX Games, and yeah, my name is Andrew, and I'm the founder and lead developer of 8FX Games.
All right,
But
sweet.
yeah.
All right, so do you have anything you want to say about the game or about the stream or anything before we get started? We only have about 17
Um,
questions, I think, from the community.
yeah. Well, I was actually working on it yesterday, I think, and lots of bugs, but they're getting fixed. So, progress is still coming along, and I'm working on getting some major systems to like really click well. Like moving objects and enemies and stuff and moving tiles and you can now shake objects like in Mario Maker to like get their alternatives and it's coming along really really well.
That sounds great. And of course, for anybody
Yeah.
watching, if you're watching on live, go ahead and please feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'm sure Adafix Games slash Andrew will be more than happy to answer those.
Yep.
And
You
if
can just
you're
call me Andrew, by the way.
okay, and if you're watching this in replay, please leave a comment. Again, we could, if we get enough questions, we could probably do this again.
Yep.
All right, so you want to get right into it?
Sure. Let's dive in.
All right, so Um, KW asked, can we still make a bubble wrap? I believe that's one of the speedrun strats. I can't remember if that's the one with the dragons with the screen skip thing, or not.
Oh, I think I kind of know what you're talking about. I have not tested. I don't know, and it's not in a state right now where I could tell. Though I'm sure there will be plenty of speedrun strats and glitches once it's in full release. So I mean, I kind of have to create these things from the ground up, so it will be like fundamentally different. Like the very like core code of it will be different from Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. So I would say that it's unlikely.
Okay. Um, the second question we have is from Anthony Goodson. Who's asking the YouTube chat, what was or is the biggest problem during development?
Oh. Um, probably, probably the biggest problem are is perfectionism, and that's just game dev in general, I suppose. Is I've redone the core code, like the heart of the engine for the editor, twice now. So so it runs better, and so it's more optimized, and it's something you have to do. But like I can't really show updates on that because it just looks and functions the exact same, just faster. And so probably the greatest or hardest thing to face is having to redo stuff like that over and over to get it right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next question we have is from, and again, I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name. I don't do it on purpose. I just sometimes don't know how to pronounce y'all's names. This next question is from Kachoni, I think is how you pronounce it. Was Shovel Knight Maker based off games like Mario Maker, or was the idea based off of something else? I knew we touched base on this a little bit in the last video, but
Um,
but probably a good question to answer for those watching that maybe didn't see that first video.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So, Shovel Knight Maker was heavily, heavily inspired by the original Mario Maker. That's really the game that, like, I mean, I had done game dev a bit before that, but I hadn't actually pursued it outside of like a minor hobby. But that is what pushed me over the edge and was like, I want to do this. And Um, yeah, Shovel Knight Maker. I'm trying to take the ideas from Mario Maker and not only apply them to Shovel Knight, but also like evolve them on a basic level to just make it even more fun to play than the original Mario Maker.
So this wasn't on the list, but this was just kind of like a spin-off of that question. So was it inspired by both of the Mario Maker games or just the original?
Um, it was inspired by both. I mean, I like Mario Maker 2 a lot, and I've been working on level editors before that game was even announced. And I like that game a lot, but something about its control scheme really like turned me off. Like I spent hundreds upon hundreds of hours in the original, but I maybe have spent 100 tops in Mario Maker 2. And it's a good game. It's just I don't know. I want to improve upon like the ease of use and the controls and everything, so it just feels natural and more natural than it felt in Mario Maker 2.
Yeah. Also, for anybody that is watching on replay, or if you're watching us live and you haven't seen the previous video, there should be a link down below. I think I made, I think um, I'm pretty sure I put it in there. I apologize about the last live stream. I said, hey, there's a link in the description below, and then there never was. I made sure that there was before we started the stream tonight, so I'm not lying this time.
Nice.
Anthony says that must be a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. It's certainly more than I expected going into it, but it's also a lot of fun.
All right. Also, please be sure to smash that like button if you like the stream so far, and if you're new, maybe consider subscribing to both, not just me, but also to this awesome guy over here that's doing all this incredible work. Um, Next question is actually from me. Um, who is your favorite knight to play as?
Oh, okay. I like this question. Well, I mean, the best designed knight I would say is Spectre. Like, there's something about his movement that feels like inherently fun to play. But my personal favorite, excluding like the showdown ones, it's going to be Plague Knight. Like, he's just so chaotic and fun, and I have a blast anytime I play
Pun intended.
him. Oh, but
I uh,
it,
I honestly, I'm on the flip side. I That's the one I actually dislike playing the most because I never could figure out how to play as him. Maybe later you could give me some pointers on that off
oh
cam.
yeah. He's tough. It's a difficult learning curve. It was not fun at first, but after painful hours, it became a lot of fun.
So, including the characters from Showdown, would you still stick with Plague Knight being your favorite, or would that change?
No, no, he's not my favorite. If I count everyone from Showdown, I really like Propeller Knight and Shield Knight in Showdown. I don't know what it is. Maybe it Shield Knight definitely makes me think of Captain America with like the shield throw attack,
Yeah, I got
and
the same vibes.
Propeller Knight brings me back to like paragliding in Breath of the Wild. So
Oh, I can see that. It's been a
yeah.
while since I played that game. I probably should get back into it. Fun fact, that was one of the first three games I got on the Switch, but I've barely played it because I'm not very good at those games. It was also my first Zelda game I had ever played.
Uh, I actually got a copy of that game, like a physical copy, before I had a Switch. It's a weird story, but
A story for a different time.
yep.
If you guys want to know the full story, then be sure to subscribe to him. If he's wanting to share the full story, he will probably do it on his YouTube channel or Discord or something.
Yep. I suppose if there is a demand, then I will fill that void.
So the next question is going to be from Lukey13. Are the other characters going to be included? I believe we touched base a little bit on this as well, but I think this would be a good place to expand on that.
Yeah, this is this is a question that like the idea of it just makes you so happy inside. But I at first the answer is gonna be no. Like that's too much work for it to actually realistically be released at all. But if people like the game and if people want certain nights added, I am open to adding them. But at first, it would only be Shovel Knight. Like I can't even see the other three campaign nights
What
having
about
this.
Black Knight?
I've thought about him as like a palette swap with maybe like a faster shovel drop, more akin to like Mario's ground pound, but I have not decided on that yet.
So possible maybe on Black Knight, a definite no, but possible update on the others.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. So I hope you I hope you the question was answered the way you wanted it, Luki. Your thoughts about the difficulty of porting Shovel Knight to various platforms. So basically, are you going to be trying to port this past PC, or are you just going to stick with PC?
Um,
This
it's
was
only going to be on PC, well, and Mac and
okay.
Linux, but like it's not going
It's just going to
onto
stay on those.
console. Yeah,
And this
yeah.
was asked by, again, I'm probably going to butcher this, Aombre45. Um, this next question is another one from me. What is the platform that you play Shovel Knight the most on? Because it's on basically like every platform except mobile, right?
Yeah, yeah. I play it exclusively on Nintendo Switch.
Hey, same.
Yeah.
Sometime maybe maybe we could meet up IRL and go for a speed run.
Uh-oh, that would not end well for me, but that
I
would be
mean, I
fun.
could carry. Um, the speed run that I currently have submitted, although embarrassingly I died on the first level because I made a really dumb mistake, um, is in about 2 hours and 6 minutes using. I mean, obviously the shovel, but as far as the items go, using the two worst items in the game, and I still beat it in about 2 hours and 6 minutes.
That's really impressive. Nice.
I tried for anybody watching that remembers within the last week ish sorry, I can't speak apparently. I did attempt to try to speedrun with my new capture card, but it's just got really laggy, and until I can afford to get a splitter, so not playing directly into the capture card, I think I'm gonna have to wait before I get back into speedrunning Shovel Knight. But you can be rest assured at some point I am gonna go back for that because I would like to beat it like checkpointless and stuff like that too. Don't know if you ever would be considering speedrunning the game?
Um, I mean, I'm I'm not the speed running type of guy. I mean, I've done some stuff like that, and I've made like Mario Maker courses that are speed running centric. But I would be open to it. Yeah,
All
it's
right,
just not on my current itinerary.
right. So the next question is how much people are in the development process? This is from Anthony in the live
Like
chat.
how many people are working on it?
Yeah. Is it just you or do
Um,
you have other people coming alongside you?
I have I have an associate of mine who has done some stuff on it, and then I have another pal in the community who helped me out with some like art that he's made that fits into Shovel Knight to like help smooth gaps over. And he also provided me with like resources to get all the art from the game. So overall, there's been 3 people, but I'm the only one who's like consistently in active development.
Okay, so it's probably safe to say you are definitely the lead developer on this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Welcome, Coronix. He says do it. We he is definitely making Shovel Nightmaker. Um, that reminds me of a question that I'll probably ask later. If you have any questions that you want to ask him, Coronix, please go ahead and type it into the chat. He Andrew's more than happy to answer those,
Yep.
especially because I can't answer any of these. I mean, like some of these questions are from me, so there's no way I could answer. Um, this is another question from Ambre45. What do you think was the hardest platform to develop for?
I assume they mean for like Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. We're just gonna go with that.
Sure,
Um, I mean, definitely not PC. That is always the easiest.
I
But
agree.
I maybe Switch. I mean, it works very well on Switch, but they were very new to working with Switch. Like they were one of the launch titles. So I would say it was
Mhm.
probably Switch.
And I'm glad that you took over that question because I honestly, since I've only made games for PC and really small games at that, of course I don't really have really much knowledge of knowing like what even would it take to make a game for Switch or PS4 or anything. I mean, I know the obvious ones like use Unreal Engine to make the 3D games and stuff like that, but I haven't really delved like real deep into that. I've just mostly
Yeah.
stuck to PC game development.
And that's completely fine. I do almost everything for PC. But I mean, your big engines like Unity and Unreal, it's not too hard, but they made their own engine. So that would pose a slightly different problem. Like they don't have pre-made documentation and stuff for porting the game. But
hmm And this isn't one of the original questions, but so are you making your own engine or are you thinking about making your own engine?
Hmm. I mean, if I said I wasn't thinking about making my own engine all the time, I'd be lying. But currently I'm not. I use Unity Game Engine because it's really well rounded and it has a lot of documentation.
Okay,
But this level editor is kind of a game engine
a
because
game engine
technically,
built inside of a game engine.
yeah, it's weird because technically you could like import your own art or something. I mean, users couldn't, but I could like throw in Mario assets and try to make a Mario game in it. Like not even
Nintendo,
in
please do
Unity.
not sue us for this. We are not actually going to.
No, never.
I just
But short answer, no. I am not.
Okay, good. I
Mm,
just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there. So, if any Nintendo employees are watching this, disclaimer: we are not usurping your Mario makers.
no way.
So the next question is from Lynn Toast. Will we be able to import our own assets into Shovel Knight Maker? I think we just answered that actually.
Well, the answer is no. I mean, it would take more UI and it wouldn't really make sense for the game. Like technically I could like in Unity I could import different assets and add them in, but I mean if you were able to import your own assets like if the players were, then there'd have to be like some sort of coding system in the game to be able to like assign code to your art and animations and stuff. And that would be awkward, I think.
Yeah. Um, Another question from me. What is your favorite Shovel Knight game, excluding the dig, because that is technically not part of the five of Trove?
What about Puzzle Dungeon? Okay, okay. In all seriousness, um, I believe the objectively best. I mean, I guess it's all subjective, but I think the best one is Spectre of Torment. But I'm gonna pick the controversial choice of Plague of Shadows as my favorite. But it's always subject to change. But Plague of Shadows is my
I've
favorite.
I've barely played that because again, I'm just really bad at playing as Plague Knight. Nothing against Plague Knight, I'm just not very good at it. I've played a little bit of Spectre of Helmet, but I had to stop because playing with a bad controller just doesn't really make the game fun. But since I did get a new controller, I may end up returning to that. I don't know. I may also end up going back to doing a playthrough of the was it King of Cards campaign because I
Oh
started
yeah.
playing that one too, and I just kind of stopped. Obviously, I've played the Shovel of Hope. I basically played all the ones in Treasure Trove. Have you?
Yeah. I haven't actually beat King of Cards. Like I'm really far into it, but I haven't beat it. So that's embarrassing. But I've played all the other ones to completion.
Well, I've played all five of them, but the only one I mean, obviously, Shovel of Hope, I've consistently beaten in like speedrun and all that. Um, I've beat some of the campaigns in Showdown. I don't know if that would technically count as beating it or not. Um, and as already discussed, have not beat Plague of Shadows, King of Cards, or Spectre of Torment.
Yep. I'm not counting Showdown. I mean, I haven't beat Showdown. I have like all the characters unlocked, but I haven't actually gone through and
You
done
haven't done
each of
any of
their.
the campaigns.
Yeah.
I've done a few of the campaigns. Well, actually, wait a minute. That means you haven't unlocked all the characters, because there is a certain character that you have to beat a specific character's campaign to unlock.
Well, don't spoil it for me then.
Oh, I'm not spoiling it. To be honest, even if I wanted to, I couldn't, because I don't need to even remember which characters that is unlocked or what campaign it has to be.
Oh, okay then.
Alright, so from Radiaction, are there plans on adding new components or other big features? I think that was another thing we touched base a little bit, both on the past video and I think also in this interview.
Yeah, yeah, there are plans. We have some new enemies, some new yeah, we have new objects and new like interactability between things. So yeah, there's some new stuff going on. But it all makes sense within the Shovel Knight world. Like there's these green propeller rats called rat sploders that like up there from the Plague Knight level. And so we added the rat sploder king, which is like a variant of the propeller rat king. So like it makes sense. It's just stuff that probably like should have been included in the base game. And so we thought, hey, we'll add it here.
So is this a combination of like stuff from the various games combined into one and like a few things that you thought would have been nice to have in one of the actual games added in, or is this just solely only the stuff from the various games?
Uh, there's stuff from all four campaigns and Showdown and new original stuff. So there's lots.
That sounds great. I mean, after all, it's Shovel Knight Maker, so I mean, it's got to have something of its own spin on it, you know.
Oh yeah. You've got to have new unique stuff to make, you know?
hmm So, I really like this question asked by Mr. Quick Strike. What parts of the project are the most difficult to make? Enemies, items, tiles, Maker UI, etc.
Mm. Well, lately I've been struggling with tiles, but that's not the hardest. That's probably about the easiest. Overall, enemies are the hardest because you have to load all their data whenever you hit play, which is like the one of the main problems, and that's why I'm gonna like prototype just the editor before the like play feature is made public because because of the enemies, because the enemies are so frustrating to deal with. But I put the most effort into the Maker UI because that's like the make or break for the project. Like, if it's not intuitive and it doesn't feel good to play, then people aren't gonna play it and they aren't gonna enjoy it. So that's the part that I'm like really cautious about.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That sounds like a lot of pressure. Also, quick thing, I think I forgot to mention this to you a while back. Um, someone did mention from a video. I can't remember if it was they commented on the actual video that I made previous to this, or if it was like in the Discord chat or something like that. But someone said that you have the knockback wrong.
I do. Yeah, that video was wrong. There were other things that were wrong too. And I have gone through now and I think I've fixed some of the stuff. Like the jump height is a bit more accurate now, and he digs through blocks more accurately, and I think the attack window's a tiny bit more accurate too. But I mean, the only way I can actually test these things is just by watching footage of the game or having my Switch up next to me and like hitting a button and like trying to measure with human error like the levels of things. But um good for the feedback. If you notice more things like that, throw them my way so I can fix them.
hmm Another question from Anthony in the live chat. Um, when you first started, what was the first thing that you started working on?
Hmm.
I really like this
Um,
question too.
yeah, this is a good question, and this goes back quite a while. The first thing I learned, well, not learned, I learned a lot of things, and I haven't learned a lot of things. But the first thing I did was um, it was this. I added the ability to draw and erase tiles first, and they were just like white squares. Like that was before there was like any enemies or Shovel Knight or UI or anything. It was just click and draw tiles on the grid, and then like hold Shift and click to erase them, and then I added from there.
So, how long? This kind of sparks another question of the obvious question of so how long have you been working on this roughly?
Oh God. I'm gonna give you two answers. The first answer is a little bit over a year, and the second answer is 4 years. So I actually started Shovel Knight Maker a little bit over a year ago, like maybe 14 months. But
Okay.
I've been working on level editors in general for 4 years. Like I've been learning about them and learning how to code them and how to make them. So if you count that as working on Shovel Knight Maker, then it's been 4 years.
Okay. So
But
you've been working on the type of stuff that kind of turned into Shovel Knight Maker for the past 4 years, but you didn't work on specifically Shovel Knight Maker until about a year ago. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Because I mean,
Okay,
I had to learn this stuff first, and then
right.
I had the ability to like copy and paste some bits of code. I mean, improve it a bit, yeah, but I could take stuff from my previous level editors and like play around with it and get it to work together. So that made it a lot easier.
Yeah. Another question from Kuchani, or is it pronounced Kuchoni? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Whatever you say will be correct enough.
How are upgrades and relics going to be handled?
Um, Currently, there are not plans to include upgrades. I mean, there should be armor, but it'll just be like palette swaps, I think. And then relics are going to be, well, the current plan, they're not actually implemented yet. So this is just like what I have on the drawing board is that they're going to be implemented like in Mega Man Maker, where you have like the ability capsule things, except now you're going to have like chests and you can put not only relics and things like that, but also like food and gems and stuff like that in the chests. And then you can open them and get whatever's inside them. So that's the
Interesting.
current plan.
So how come you could put food in the chest and not say like those dins or whatever they're called that like how food was presented in the game?
Oh, well, the food should be able to be put in those as well. I mean, those would function the same way as chests. I just, I suppose the chest is just like a catch-all, like a placeholder type thing. And you
Okay.
would be able to put enemies inside of like chests or dishes or like whatever as well. So you could think you're getting an item, open it, and then like a Beto pops out or something, like in Mario Maker with the question mark.
That'd be very interesting and be pretty depending on how it's implemented, it could be very cool or very frustrating. I'm excited to see how that plays out with the new community that's gonna spawn from this game.
The troll levels scare me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those go. This next question is from the Spectre Knight himself, Donovan. How did you learn to code?
Um, oh, I don't know how many years back that goes, but I first learned to code. Like, this isn't counting any like actual education. I first learned to code from like an online course and from like different YouTube tutorials and things. But this was before there were a lot of good tutorials for Unity. Like there were basic ones, but like nowadays I can look up Unity level editor tutorial or like Unity platformer tutorial and get like a billion results. But back then there wasn't that much to choose from. And so I just really learned by taking a bit of like a course online, watching some YouTube videos and reading the Unity docs.
So you basically just had to become your own teacher.
Yep.
So you probably saw this question coming a mile away. So what inspired you to get into the realm of coding in the first place?
Well, I did it for the purpose of game dev. Like I didn't do it for anything other than that. But
That's pretty
I don't
common.
know. When I was young, like, well, I don't know how young. I don't know. When I was younger, I I kind of felt pressured into being a software engineer or like a computer science major by my parents. And so that probably influenced why I picked it up because I felt societal pressure in a way. I don't feel that anymore since I've figured out what I want to do, and it's not that. But I do enjoy coding, and so I guess it was a mix of like a desire to do game dev and what seemed to be pressure from society.
So did you start with Unity or did you start with a different engine and or language?
I started with Unity, and Unity kind of kicked my butt a bit, and so I had to go back and learn a bit of like Python and Java to kind of understand what was actually going on, and then it was easy, and I could just go forth with Unity.
All right. So, this is probably gonna be a no, or probably maybe at best. I have a feeling for this question. This is just one I just now thought of. What are your thoughts on? I mean, obviously, I'm curious about if you're going to make this, but also like, do you think Yacht Club Games or any other fan of Shovel Knight will make this a 3D Shovel Knight game? Whether it be like an actual campaign like Shovel of Hope, but in 3D, or just like in general a 3D Shovel Knight game.
I mean, I'm definitely not gonna make it. Shovel Knight Maker, I don't know. Like level editing is my forte, and Shovel Knight is one of my favorite games, so it makes sense for me to do this, and it doesn't
Hmm.
make sense for me to do that. But I think eventually Yacht Club will make it. I really do think that because it's a big franchise. Like people like the game a lot,
I
and
agree.
I think we're gonna see it evolve. Though I think they're gonna take a break. I think it's gonna be a few years before we see the next big Shovel Knight thing, since they've been working on it for ages, you know, because
Right, right.
you gotta keep your Kickstarter promises, and so they're probably all burnt out.
Yeah, true. And I didn't realize this, but Showdown was the final Kickstarter promise that they had made. When Showdown first came out alongside King of Cards, I thought they just added it in as an extra, like, hey, we finally finished all of these, here's this extra game. But upon like going to the actual like Kickstarter page and looking at it and stuff, turns out that they actually said like if we reach this certain milestone, then we'll also do a Smash Bros. Style game, which is what Showdown is.
Yeah. Yeah, they made a lot of promises to their backers,
And they
and
fulfilled like all of them.
yeah, they fulfilled them all, and that's not very common on Kickstarter. So you have to applaud them, but you also have to think of like the psychological burnout. Like
Oh yeah.
working you can love your project as much as you do, but working on it for so long, even after you like finish the first campaign, it's like, oh, I've got 3 more campaigns to make and a Smash Bros. Clone for Shovel Knight. Like that just looming over you sounds so horrible. I get burnt out on my games that I've been working on for like 1 or 2 years. I can't imagine working on a game for like 5 or 6 years and knowing that there's still more to be done.
And I get burnt out working on games if I'm still working on it for like a month. I work on like super small games, and I've never been lucky enough to have a big scale game that I've been working consistently on for like often or even off and on 40 years worth. So I can even imagine what you and of course obviously Yacht Club Games and other game developers go through when they put years and years into a game.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, and you have to realize a lot of games don't, like, make back the work that was put in, like, monetarily, right?
Hmm.
So you could be a developer, and you could be opening your heart to the world by making this game, and it could just go, like, undiscovered and not be successful, and you've spent years on it, you know?
Hmm. All
But I
right,
guess
Anthony, thank you so much. He said he's got to go. Good luck with the rest of the interview. Thank you. All right, so the next question, I think we also touched base on this in the last video, which of course, if you're watching this whether alive or on replay, please be sure to go to the link below that is to the previous video. If um at least at this point, I don't have to say if you're listening on Discord, sorry, I sound like gibberish because there's nobody listening on Discord, surprisingly. But anyways, this is another question from Lynn Toast. I think we've got like two more Lynn Toast questions after this, actually. Do you want me to ask them all at once or one at a time?
you can if you prefer to ask them all at once, we can do that, but I mean, whatever works.
Okay. I was just wondering because they're all by the same person. The first one is how will we be able to share levels we make? So I guess
Okay.
that kind of also brings in the question, will we be able to?
The answer to will we be able to is yes. Um, with the prototype, like with the one where it's just for editor, you'll be able to like look around and maybe there'll be some way to suggest changes. I'm not sure, though that would be a fun feature.
So like a
But
spectator mode almost?
yeah, yeah. And maybe there's like some way you can comment on their level, like leave feedback or something through that system. But that is a discussion for another time. Um, it's not going to be in application at first because I just don't have the resources to pull that off. So at first it would be like through a Discord server and you like share your codes in like channels or something and then you can like import those into Shovel Knight Maker and look or play at the levels or like you know.
Kind of like how with Ryukar, sometimes he plays Mario levels that people make for him, which if you don't know who Ryukar is, he mostly does Mario content. He plays Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario Maker. He does play like Donkey Kong, and I think currently he's playing through Metroid Dread right now, which
I
which he
really
was
get
live streaming it, and unfortunately I missed that.
uh, I've seen a few of his Mario Maker live streams. He's a pretty funny guy.
And he recently just got married.
Oh, really? Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the next question, also hi flaming horror in Discord. If you have any questions, please be sure to let us know. We will invite you on stage so you can ask Andrew yourself. Unless you would prefer to type it into stage chat, that is also an option if you do not feel comfortable speaking on stage. The next question by Lynn Toast is when is it releasing? I guess this could be kind of split into a couple
Mm,
questions. When is the playtesting um going to be released, and then like when is like the public version of the game going to be released?
um, see, if I knew, I would give a very, very good answer. But the play testing, it's still planned to be this year, and hopefully not like December 31st. Hopefully, like before then. But the actual like full playable global release game, well, that should be quite a bit down the road after. Um, it'll start with a few features and then more will be added, so there can at least be something out there. And like more enemies and bosses and characters will be added over time. So hopefully sooner than we think, but for now I would remain just cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, are you hoping like before December to get a playtesting thing, or just in general, just before the end of December?
I don't know. I've got a lot going on, and I don't. I work on other things too, but hopefully before December, right? Hopefully it releases tomorrow, but that's not going to happen. Now I'm just being stupid and sarcastic, but I honestly can't say.
So, and just as a side note, I will be playtesting it as soon as he makes that available, and of course I will be making a video about that. Probably making a video, not really live streaming it. But who knows? You never know with me. I could be end up be live streaming, could end up doing both, make a video and live streaming. We'll see when we get there, right?
Yeah, and if you live stream, just know that everything that can go wrong with the game is going to go wrong during the stream. So it's actually a really to find bugs.
Yeah, the bug cruncher stream.
Oh yeah.
So I think we kind of touched base on this slightly, but like not really. Um, Again, another question by Lynn Toast, and of course, any both on Discord and YouTube, anyone that's listening slash watching. If you have a question, please be sure to let us know. If you're for Discord, we have the stage chat, or you can raise your hand and we'll bring you up on stage and you can ask your question. If you're watching on YouTube, there is the live chat that you can type your question in there as well. Andrew is more than happy to answer any questions or comments as well. Um, Another question by Lynn Toast is how many enemies and or bosses will be in Shovel Knight Maker?
Right now, right now there's like I think there's like 12 enemies. But bosses there are zero currently because bosses are a lot hard to make since they could be put in like any arena made by players. And so
Mm-hmm.
they have to be redesigned from the game completely so they don't commit suicide by jumping into a pit or something like randomly, you know? So bosses,
It would
hopefully
be kind of funny though.
it would be, but I can imagine all the glitches that would occur.
Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully there'll be a few bosses, but at least until I can get like a really good solution or later down the road, like post launch, there will not be too many.
All right. So this is the final question on the list. I mean, obviously we've asked a lot more than 16 at this point. Um, if you guys have any more questions, of course, please let us know. We'll either invite you on stage or you can type it in the stage chat or the live chat, depending whether you're listening on Discord or YouTube. And if you're watching this on replay, you can of course comment your questions down below or go over to his channel and comment on his videos and his channel. Um, and either he'll answer them on his channel or maybe we'll do another interview like this at some point. Um,
Yeah.
so this final question, unless anybody in the audience wants to ask any, is from Anthony Goetson again. Is it going to be its own game, or is it going to be on a website?
I'm guessing that it's going to be too big to be on a website. Like I've made website games and the most recent one I made was too big and it ran at like 5 frames a second online because Unity WebGL sucks. So I would plan on it being a downloadable, but maybe maybe somehow it's like smaller storage wise than expected and it can run really well and so it runs well enough that I can put it on a website, but I would expect it to be its own downloadable game.
Yeah, I kind of figured. From what it sounds like, it doesn't. I don't think it would run very well in a web browser. I think
Yeah.
5 frames per second would honestly be pretty generous, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. But I've got it running really fast now, like on my computer. But granted, that's also on my computer, so the web works different.
Right, right. Um, I don't remember the question that I had that I mentioned earlier, and maybe I already asked it. I don't know. Um, for anybody listening in on Discord or watching on YouTube, do you have any last questions for Andrew? Because if not, at this point the ball will be in your court, and I guess you'll take over if you have any. I don't know if you had any pictures or any videos or anything.
I don't have any prepared. I can try to pull something up.
That's no problem if you don't have something. I'm honestly not sure how even to show those in a stage currently.
Oh, that's true. And it's
Um,
super glitched out right now.
okay.
Oh, you
Um,
can probably hear those sounds, can't you? I should mute it.
yeah, actually I can. I don't know if that people watching slash listening in can hear that or not. I'm not sure. Um, I did just think of another question. So, as far as playtesting goes, will you release a playtesting um thing, kind of like for all your playtesters at the same time, or is there any chance that like there's a couple people that you might reach out to first?
I don't know. It's probably once I have the prototype and once I have like some press materials to go with it, I'll probably just share it and have people who want to play it. So I don't really have any reason to like stagger the prototype release.
So like a public beta type of thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe not completely public. I mean, to like you wouldn't just be able to look it up and find it. You'd have to actually like come to me and like give me a valid reason
Like
why you want
request it.
it. Yeah.
That makes sense. After all, that way, it also doesn't go into the hands of, say, someone who completely despises Shovel Knight, or someone that I don't know why they would, but this is the internet. Someone who would want to basically cancel you, like like it would give you more control on like having less issues with those type of people.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't have any power over me, but I don't want to deal with crap, right? You know.
Yeah,
So,
it
yeah.
tones down the level of toxicness, which I think we can all agree we do not need more toxic stuff going on. And if there's a way that we can cap the lid on it, of course we're going to. Both as, and I say that both as a fellow game developer, but also just as a content creator and even just as a person.
Mhm. Oh, is there a way for me to share my screen? I have it pulled up. I could.
Um,
No, there isn't. Okay.
I
I don't think
I
there
don't
is.
think there is on the stage, but if we, I'm pretty sure there's a way I could probably, because I am screen sharing on YouTube. Um, we could probably end the stage on Discord because at this point we went through everything. And then if you want to head over to YouTube, I'm sharing my screen, so we could just go into a call and you could share your screen there.
Sure. Okay, we can try that.
All right. How to? All right. All right. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Sweet. So you should be able to share your screen, I think, now.
Yeah. Okay, can you see that? I never know with Discord if it's gonna work or if it's gonna
Yeah, I can see it.
make me.
And I actually clicked
Okay.
the pop out thing just so I can make it bigger on my screen for everybody to see.
Yeah. Okay. Ignore those white squares up at the top. Um, it it decided earlier this weekend to be
It
a
didn't want to
pain.
work.
Yeah, but I'll get that fixed. And there is audio that goes along with it, but I have it muted right now.
Okay. Honestly, no pun intended. I
Let's
really
see.
dig this. Looks really cool.
Thank you. And if
Are
I
those
shake
the
this,
are
right,
those the bouncy slime things? Pads, whatever.
and I can shake it to turn it into the one with the birder inside, and then I can shake it again. Come on,
Oh, nice.
to get a normal one. Yeah.
I did just think of another question. I'm honestly actually kind of surprised that I have not asked this before. Um,
Okay.
is there a chance that I could get early access? Like when do you I guess like let me rephrase that in a way that makes more sense. Um, when do you think you would be able to give um me personally access to this?
as soon as it's done, right? As soon as the prototype's available. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't think that would be sooner than like average, but I don't know. Oh, I really like that art. I really like the diagonal that goes through there. I don't know. Burger Bluffs is the best part of King of Cards, and no one's gonna change my mind.
Pretty much the only, and like this has nothing to do with you. This is just my personal preference. Since and you've probably already made the adjustment with being the game developer and all that. Considering for anyone who's not a game developer, what kind of tends to happen usually when you make a game is you tend to get really good at that game. So you probably don't have as much of a struggle as I probably will, since I primarily play, well, not just primarily, I exclusively play Shovel Knight on the Switch. Once I get access to Shovel Knight Maker, it'll be an interesting adjustment to see how to play it on PC.
Mm, yeah, I don't know. It's not really. I mean, I guess there's some skill to it, right? But it's really just creative skill. So, I mean, I think you'll be fine. Just prototyping some stuff. But yeah, right now most of the elements aren't available because the system decided that it didn't like the tools I had made to automate the process. So now I have to like re-import things and I have to reassign things manually, which really sucks.
Ooh.
It is what it is.
So are you making an exclusive like example level?
Yeah, sure. This is exclusive footage of like Birder Bluffs level design.
Cool.
And I could erase like part of it right now with this box tool. I won't, but it's really like fast and modular.
I know I asked this question in the past video, which again for anybody watching this, whether it's live or whether on replay, there is a link in the description below. Please check that out for any information that we may have forgot about or not covered in this interview. How to save levels.
Um, if I do it right now, it's not gonna like me, but I can try. Um, please work. Oh, and it threw an error. Yeah, I'm not. It's it's worked in the past, but I've added more features, and for whatever reason, I don't think they want to play nice together. So yeah, I don't know, but it has worked in the past, so it will work in the future, right? That's the
Hmm.
rationale. Oh, you've got to be joking! All this work for that? There should be one block off.
Oh, you were one block off there.
Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, but yeah, I'm just messing around, and you can change the size of the brush. Like if I wanted to paint things like that, I could, and then I could come over here and adjust it down to be smaller, or just one by one, or even I could have it be like gigantic for painting large chunks of terrain or erasing a lot of things at once. I don't want to just make a big mountain. It's just
So is there a limit to like how big or the levels can be made, or is it just kind of storage wise?
there's not a limit, but the large, like you can go as large as you want. I wouldn't recommend it. Like even if I went like just really far over here, maybe there's a faster. No, that only works on Mac or with an actual mouse. I'm using a mouse pad right now, so I'm at a disadvantage. But if I draw over here and then I go like I wouldn't recommend that because that just makes it like unnecessarily large storage wise. Like it would just slow down the level loading and saving. But you could make it however large you want, in theory at least.
Well, is there anything else you want to add, or I guess like show or something? I, because as far as questions go, I've ran out. I can't think of any more at the moment, and like that's kind of all I have.
Yeah, no, no. Thanks for having me. It was it was fun. And well, there's some exclusive footage for you. So there's that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and again, do you have any last words before we end the interview and stream tonight?
Well, just thanks for having me, and thanks for all the questions from the community. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for sticking with me through this tedious and slow at times development process. And hopefully, I won't leave you guys hanging for too long. Hopefully, we'll have something that we can all play together and share levels together soon enough.
All right, I'm excited to see where it goes, and yeah, please smash that like button if you haven't already. If you have not watched the previous video, there's a link in the description below. If you want to see more videos and or live streams like this, please subscribe to both, not just me, but also to Andrew as well. Especially because he's gonna be your main source of Shovel Knight Maker information. I'm just kind of the extra guy that's like, is this game real? Which I covered. Obviously, the game is real in both this live stream and the past video.
Yep.
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Yep. Bye.